This is a really special episode because it's something all of us have to deal with. I'm Hachi, and this is Zero to Scale, a video series where we talk to established African founders about how they built their startups from scratch. Health is wealth. That much we know. But how many of us actually pay attention to our mental health? According to a 2019 study by the University of Oxford, people are 19% more productive when they are in a better mental state or when they're happy. But how can we maintain an optimal mental health? For that, I'll be speaking with Juliet Odumosu, the CMO of Nguvu Health. As usual, let's go get her. Because I have agenda to push. Let's be on record that I did not want to shoot Ikoyi language. Everybody and their mom shoots Ikoyi language. Like you would do a movie about Wakanda and they will show Ikoyi language. I'm tired. Random fact, there are a ton of people jogging on Ikoyi language every Saturday. I feel like if you're looking for a life partner, that's like, it's a reasonable place to find someone like. Yeah, so we're at Juliet's place, we're in Ikoyi, and this is a big house, a big ass house, with a nice range of cars, double entendre. But yeah, I'm going upstairs to see her, and then we'll get her from here to our venue.
12 seconds later.
I'm curious, how did Nguvu come about? I'll ask about the name later, but first of all, like the concept of just building something for mental health, how did it come about?
How Nguvu started, I'm the co-founder, but I'm aware of the onset of the idea. Myself and my co-founder Joshua Koya, we've been friends for 7-8 years, thereabout. Met in OAU, and
Great fair. I went to OAU, so this is great fair.
This was not supposed to be a link up, please.
Please, it's an agenda. OAU is the best school in Africa. Africa's most beautiful campus, I think. That's give or take.
Yeah. I'll agree with that because it was my school, so yeah, I can be partial. So yeah, as I was saying about Nguvu Health, it was about spotting an opportunity or noticing the problems as it is growing, and then just plugged in at the right time to take on that market. Nguvu Health is mental health teletherapy in Nigeria. We believe that we're the first outfit catering for that, as opposed to traditional therapy. There are a couple of traditional therapists out there, but Nguvu started at the onset of COVID-19. It just so happened that many people became connected with themselves. Like we had nothing else to do than talk to ourselves, and it's only for so long that you can keep up the charade, and then you notice that people are really going through stuff. I've been home for one whole week. I'm beginning to lose my shit, and then at that point I am feeling vulnerable maybe. So when I have that conversation with you, I will definitely tell you, I'm not feeling so good. Like the numbers of mental health related issues in Nigeria spiked during that period. Not even Nigeria, let's take the world. We're always hearing that, but so it occurred to Joshua, who now told me the idea and told our other co-founder as well, and then we're like, okay, yeah, this sounds great. A backstory, a pre-story in OAU. So there was a friend in uni who, it was a very bubbly guy, that guy that everybody in the department knows, like even from other departments, you know the guy, yeah, and a couple of years later, he became a shadow of himself, But because we're not equipped with, mental health conversations, around that period, nobody could detect the symptoms that, he was experiencing, the drastic change from being that life of the party to just being, the other guy in the corner. And recently, at the start of COVID, we found out that he was, it's much worse. And now he's suffering from schizophrenia, where he survives on medications daily, to function. So if he had gotten help at the start of this, if people around him could have, noticed that change, and help him get the type of help he needs, I'm sure his story will be different today. Plus, he stays in Nigeria anyway. I don't know if I should be saying this.
No, so I think that culturally, as a country or as a people, we're not very into mental health as a thing. And not necessarily because we don't even know what mental health is, but there's a lot of stigma around mental health. Like you have, when we talk about mental health, we talk about weary. Somebody that's in the market, somebody that's on the road. And whenever people talk about mental health things, I in local context, I feel like there's a lot of pushback against it. Right? So I'm wondering, have you noticed this in the market so far?
Yes, of course. We've had situations where some people get on the app, when they're registered, and the first time they ever take a session is about 9 months after.
That would be me. Because I've registered since last year and I haven't taken a session.
We know the idea of, we should be taking care of our mental health. Everybody on Twitter, they are saying, mental health matters, this, that. And then when you're by yourself, and they announce it, even myself, I experienced this, and then I'm like, okay, let me book a session. And I'm like, do I really need to talk to somebody? I beg. So that stage where you are aware and then you can take an action for yourself to book a session, sometimes it can span for a long time, amongst people.
Hi Juliet, it's nice to finally have you here. Beautiful thing you guys have done at Nguvu. Let's talk about building Nguvu as a business. You launched when? 2021?
Yeah, 2021.
So that's like a year plus of running now. I work in tech marketing and I understand that acquiring users can be hell. So I'm wondering, what are some of the channels you've used to acquire users so far?
Yeah, largely content marketing. Like I said, rechanneling people's knowledge of mental health in the correct way. A lot of people are just mental health for the show of it, but the tiny bits, the really big bits about mental health, they don't know jack. So it was a lot of putting knowledge out there that people think, was false or is non-existent. And then from there, we started growing our user base from people wanting to know more about, mental health because it was COVID. There were lots of depression flying around. I'm sure if you didn't know what being depressed is, you'd at one point go and check, during that COVID-19. So it was to know that you're not losing your mind. It was a lot of like I said, it was a lot of content marketing because we barely even ran ads, as at when we started. First for us is education, because it's only people that are well educated about mental health would know to come and pay and use Nguvu Health, as an option. So it was education, online, offline, speaking engagements, especially with communities. That's one thing that really drove growth because, you're speaking to a large, sect of people that already have that need, with their community. So it's very easy to try and convert users from that channel.
Yeah. Is partnerships a part of how Nguvu has expanded so far?
Yes,
Okay,
a big yes.
Then how do you think through these partnerships? If you could walk me through, maybe if there's a case study you can share with maybe one partnership you had that you could share, that'd be very helpful.
Okay, so thing about partnership is not, for the facelift it gives. You know, sometimes you just want to put it out there. Nguvu Health has partnered with this brand.
With the UN. Partnered with WHO.
Like, after the whole PR, you know, publications, they're talking about some Nguvu Health, this and that. The purpose of that partnership, you know, is it being met? We have at one point, you know, partnered, you know, done an engagement, you know, partnered with this brand. And then it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give.
In the words of a buddy, it wasn't given.
It was not given at all. It wasn't given, you know. And so redirection, even when you have started that partnership, it's not what you set out to achieve most times that you end up, you know, you'll end up doing. You know, after a while, you might deduce that, okay, this is not working. Why don't we try a collective, maybe form of therapy? You know, let's do a free wellness session for everybody first. That way, you know, they are entering into the idea as opposed to trying to sell one-on-one individual therapy with people before. So I guess by the time you enter the partnership, you know, you'd be really exposed to many things as opposed to what you have, you know, put down in your partnership document, and then you guys can now re-agree and change the direction. But yeah, partnership is one solid way Nguvu Health has grown.
You talked about content marketing as being a leading, being one of the ways you have been able to gain a foothold in the market. We're not a very mental health savvy people. How do you choose and pick what to create content about?
It's a combination of, you know, what your offerings are currently, you know, what your offerings can serve. Is it also a combination of, you know, what people are talking about and how you can like channel that or, you know, blend it with your messaging in-house and stuff. There was a time we started creating content on ADHD and like we saw the spike, you know, it just picked up and then well, it just picked up.
I was ADHD.
You know, so sometimes, you know, you can't just put a random thing, you know, on there and then it picks up and then you want to build on that momentum. You want to create a newsletter. You know, I think it's even, we partnered with Zikoko to now write an article as regards ADHD and stuff. So yeah, aside, you know, outlining, you know, like mapping out your content, like as the Holy Spirit just gives you, just like, okay, let me write about this topic. But certain things still inform is your products, what you're serving, you know, then our therapy. Like, see, marketing is not easy. Marketing in mental health, like marketing a mental health product now, you know, you have to be like extra sensitive. Yeah. So a lot of times when we just want to jump on a trend, you know, do this, you know, do that, or you know, write that popular slang and popular, you know, thing, and then our therapist operations just, you know, sees it because, you know, sometimes he has to vet, you know, a couple of things that we put out there just so, you know, the mental health bit statistics, you know, tells the right thing, and then you just hear him say, his name is Shola, by the way, you just hear him say, no, you cannot do this. Up until this morning, we had a newsletter, you know, that we shared with him. And the newsletters, the subject was, I don't want to be a mechanic, I want to be a bowler. And then the next thing...
Shout out to all my mechanics out there. You know, you're bowlers.
The next thing...
You're bowlers.
The next thing I saw was, Juliet, this is not to say, you know, being a mechanic, you know, is, how did he even phrase it? It was so funny. Being a mechanic is not something to be proud of, blah, blah, blah. And then he was already giving us the lecture on, you know, this, I don't think this phrase is. And then we just have to tell him, you know, we have to balance.
Sorry, this your person giving me compliance vibes. Like, I work for a fintech company. And, you know, the times we want to put stuff out and the compliance guy is like, you guys can say this.
I know for marketing guys, you just want to say that cool.
Because you know that if you send it out, they will tweet it. It will go far. But somebody's like, you can't say this because this is, I mean, apart from that, it's not on brand. It could also get us in trouble with a few people. Right? So,
yeah, very, very, very true.
My question is, how have you been able to manage co-founder conflict? Because I find that's something that affects a lot of startups, really early, in fact. Okay,
aside getting the right co-founder for your business in terms of you know, expertise, in terms of, you know, the person's experience and whatnot. There's also the bit of compatibility. You know, are you compatible with this person? Is this person your guy? Yes, like when you hear some hard truth, there are some people that they will tell you some hard truth and then you wouldn't feel too offended. If somebody else were to say that, it won't get under your
actually.
You
You say my indomie is not sweet. That's a hard truth I can't deal with. I make noodles. It's the best.
Some people will say that to you and then you would understand, but some will say that to you and you would flare up. So understanding that type of person, I don't want to say, a lot of people build with their friends, their guys, but then are they compatible when it comes to disagreements? Because that's where a lot of things come in. Personalities matter, I don't know. And how people can cohabit together or build together. We always joke about this thing that most times Tolu plays the bad cop and then Joshua plays the good cop.
Do you play the neutral cop?
Oh well, most times when the issues are occurring, maybe we're facing an internal problem or whatnot, and then by the time I see somebody's already being the bad cop, I have to compliment and be the good cop. You'd understand what is going on, and we're just really close.
So you can be any
outside
kind
of
outside
like
of a Nigerian policeman. You can be any kind of depending on if they grease your palms.
Oh well, good cop when it needs.
When
it calls, and
anything for the
bad cop. Mean guys, even outside of work, like I can call up Joshua and tell him about maybe somebody that just stops me on the road and is trying to toast me or something. We're that close.
And that has not affected how you work, has it?
No.
And how you work has not affected your friendship?
No.
That's incredible. If I do a business with my friend, we'll become acquaintances in like 3 months. Now, let's go to how you manage employees. Because I believe that when it comes to scaling a business, hiring the right people is an important part of it. 2, being able to manage them for productivity.
Especially in this remote age.
Yes. Nguvu runs a fully remote system, right?
Yeah.
How do you encourage productivity in a remote system?
It's a lot of trying to incentivize things, but also communication.
I was going to say, the salary not incentive enough. If you're not incentivized by your salary, send it to me. I will do your work for you.
I mean, it could be as little as an airtime recharge, or just keeping that vibe alive. Because if you don't communication, if you don't talk to somebody on WhatsApp for like 2 days, it just feels like this person is distant. You just have the idea that this person exists, this person is doing the work, but you're not communicating with that person. We see in the office if it were a physical office, but then remote, you have to balance between setting multiple meetings because you want to communicate and then allowing people time to do their work. As much as it's remote here, we try as much as possible to organize, frequent hangouts, physical hangouts here, where people come from their states and then, just so that.
Oh, you have employees in like different states?
Oh, yeah, yes. Most of them are not even in Lagos. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they don't have to deal with Lagos traffic.
Lagos, Calabar, Abuja, Osun, Ibadan.
You've spoken about content marketing as being one of the main things that has driven growth for Nguvu. And I'm wondering, is there any single campaign that really just stands out in your memory?
Okay, last year, October, in celebrating World Mental Health Day, we had a mini campaign. We created lots of merch production, and we sort of employed people that we gave out those merch packs to, create content, create awareness videos around mental health. I did a blast to lots of influencers and micro guys, and then people that were passionate, just tapped into the CSR, of them as individuals, and a lot of people were interested because we didn't have plenty of money. Influencers did this. Anyway.
No. Influencers are the fast way to finish your marketing budget.
Actually, we got a good number of favorable responses, and then, we engaged their services. Oh, okay, so speak on this, and those viral content, people that we sent out items to, it was over 100 people, you know.
I didn't get items, just to let you know. Nguvu Health doesn't think I'm an influencer.
Come on.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine.
So yes, and then most of our content then was, you know, like I said, always about educating people, and you know, riding on the wave of during that period was also this the scarce. People were really receptive to mental health conversations in that time, so we had lots of shares, retweets, you know, lots of engagement. You know, it spiked the number of followings that we had. A couple persons reached out to sponsor therapy for different people, brands, individuals. You know, okay, I'd like to pay for 50 sessions for different people. That's, you know, based off even as little as tweets, designs that we put out there, you know, in talking about mental health and things.
If someone wanted to pay for Nguvu Health for me, like year-long access to everything, how much is it like? We
have different packages, combination of both text and, you know, video sessions. So it depends on what, you know, what package the person opts for. You know, like a combination of 4 videos with like 2 text sessions or something like that.
What's most expensive one?
Just 7,500. That's like video session.
We have one more thing. Do you play Ludo?
Yes.
You do? Are you good?
Very.
Keep in mind that she said she's very good.
Please keep in mind what he says too.
Wow. Okay.
I hope you're not a sole loser anyway.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. So let's go get the Ludo set up, and we'll continue the conversation there.
All right.
Welcome, Juliet, to the Champions League final. You are now faced one of the greats, one of the greatest ever Ludo players, and I'm not going to take it easy. I've taken it easy on people before, previous episodes. And they didn't show me mercy when it was my turn. So the rules are simple. We're doing first to 3. So that's the first person who is able to get 3 of their pieces out of the game. So as the guest, you start. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't count. I might be in trouble, actually.
Way to go.
Wow. I need the camera to capture that. That's a double 6. You know how many times people play double 6? Give me on that one.
Oh, yeah. What were you saying about the double 6 again?
Some people get lucky. Some people are born with it. And there you have it, guys. We're one up.
The taste of victory is not bad.
A taste of victory.
I'm just letting you afford that.
Okay. This is victory. This is victory in motion. You understand? What are some of the tips you think you've discovered that could help people manage their mental health better?
I mean, these are things that people know. Talk about taking rest. That can be overemphasized. Good for both your physical and, you know, mental health. That's like one way, you know, you can relax, get recharged up, and also your mind needs to relax. You know, that's why sleep is good. You wake up, you're fresh brained. Talking to people, talking to friends, talking to family, and thereby extending it to, you know, talking to a licensed therapist. Letting things out, getting things off your chest is one way, you know, you can shed off the weight or the burden of, you know, going through a tough time. Also, feeding yourself with positive content, you know. When you notice, oh, there's a lot of happenings around, you know, there's, we're talking about the protests, you know, I'm seeing lots of news that could trigger, you know, trigger moments, trigger feelings in, you know, in myself. I start to consume positive content, be it good music, you know, that is calming, be it a podcast, you know, be it videos, YouTube videos, you know, on things I find amusing, on things that help me relax. Yeah, that's one way. That's one way to keep track of your mental health. Also, journaling, you know. These things just bother around not bottling up, you know, your emotions, not bottling up things, because writing is one way to let things out regardless. You know, just as I have said, talk to people. You know, you can also put down these emotions, put down these emotions in your diary. We have a diary feature, where it's just you and your thoughts. So you're putting it out. And also to be self-aware, being self-aware such that you notice when there's a drastic, when there is a change in your feelings, in how you're now becoming cranky. You're becoming cranky, you're becoming annoying. You're becoming
I think someone is becoming cranky now because
oh, come on. I was just using side eye to look at the game. Oh,
because
like I said, I'm only giving you a taste of victory.
Because this is...
I'm the guest. I shouldn't...
This is flawless victory.
Yeah, right. We have a feature on the app that's, that's for you to track your mood. No, like during the week, what has been my highest ranking mood? Have I been happy majority of the time, or have I been anxious majority of the time? So it's a feature where you just log in your app, log in your mood daily. Just go there.
Is this a free feature?
Yeah, it is. It's a free feature. It's a free feature on the app, and it's just for people, to also engage and interact. So being self-aware, really understanding, your body. A lot of people understand their body in terms of, physical health. Lactose intolerance. I just had milk, so yeah, obviously it is going to mess with me. I already know these things. I know when I'm beginning to get headache. I know when I'm beginning to, feel feverish. So that is how it should be for your mental health. Know when.
So it's kind of like a mental health tracker.
Yeah, it's a mood tracker.
Okay, mood tracker.
I'm letting you win, right now, because I'm the guest on the show. I shouldn't be rude. Come on.
Okay. Oh. It's looking like...
You don't have to be dramatic with the counting.
And there you have it. There you have it. I've won this game.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She's not a soul loser. Are you a soul loser? You're not a soul loser. Okay, so you won't charge me extra on Nguvu. All right. Yeah, it's been really fun having you around. I think you've provided us with a lot of context as to how Nguvu has grown. If you were to leave a bit of advice for first-time founders, people who are trying to start a startup, maybe in the health space or the mental health space, what would it be?
I think it was this morning we were having that conversation. I can't remember who I was having the conversation with.
Obviously, it wasn't me, because I would not be asking.
No. It's on building ideas that you're the one experiencing. I'm building a solution to my problem, and then I'm just lost in thinking. I'm passionate about that problem because I've experienced it, but there's no real market need, market opportunity for that product. But because you're so wrapped up in your passion, you just keep building. Knowing the point when an idea is no longer working or there's no market demand for it, knowing when to pivot and when to re-strategize.
Have you had to pivot at Nguvu?
No, not currently. But then we've had to look inward and also try to think of how to better present, to this same market that we're targeting. And, it leads to coming up with, a better product, should we go into SaaS products, all of those things. Yeah.
You said something in the car, and I think I just remembered this, about sometimes building products that users don't end up using, and then you just have to take them out. Has that happened at Nguvu before?
Yes.
What was the process? What was the process behind? I mean, if you give me all the details. What was the product? What was the process? And when did you discover that users don't care for this stuff? Okay,
so we haven't, exactly removed it at this point.
Maybe before the interview comes out, you don't remove it.
But it was the, coin.
Coin.
Yeah, Nguvu coin. we have the wallet option, then we have like coins where you can like buy coins, you know, and then use the coins to opt for therapy.
Yeah.
But
People are not buying coins.
yeah, exactly. You can just save money in your wallet. I mean, that's still the idea.
What's the, like, the utility didn't really appeal to people. It didn't really appeal to people too.
Yeah. Well, it was, you know, at the time, it was a cool, very cool feature that we were thinking of. So you can just gift, you know, you can give people coins. There's the ranch room, you know, and a lot of people can go there, share what is burdensome, as opposed to.
Tell me about the ranch room on Google. Is it like if I go on the ranch room and so the way I understand it, I can, if I say I'm having a bad day, bad week or bad month, whatever it is, I can go on the ranch room and just type out my heart's content. Is it public? Can other people see it?
Yes, a lot of people can.
Can they reply to it? Can they comment to it?
So you can choose to have them comment on it or take that option off. You know, that option is entirely, you know, is entirely based on what you want. You can also post anonymously and decide, you know, you want to post with your name. That's fine as well. So it's based on the user.
I think the ranch room is a beautiful, beautiful thing. More people should use it. Like one thing you hammered on earlier was, you know, just be expressing the emotions. I think that we come from a culture that teaches a lot of suppression.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we learn to suppress a lot of stuff really early, and then eventually it just wears you down instead of just like living out there. And
good analogy.
The game was fun. I won. So thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. It's been so fun having you here. Thank you. If you're watching, this is Zero to Scale, and this is Juliet Odumosu of Nguvu. Download Nguvu. There's a lot of free features that you can use, even if you're not paying for therapy, that can help you manage your mental health better. The mood tracker, I think, is a win. The ranch room, on days when, you know, things are not going so well, it's like a win. It's like something you can just...
Outlet.
It's an outlet. You can use it to just let out steam. I think these things are really important things for a lot of us that live in a very fast-paced world, right? A lot of things are happening, and there's not a lot of avenue for us to express ourselves. But yeah, until next time, I'm Hachi, and this is Zero to Scale.
Is the director here?
I don't know why it's still filming me because you're supposed to say cut.